Yes. No way. Oh my God.
Very subtle.
Unbelievable. Oh. And he missed it. Oh my God. Ooh la la.
Boom, no chance.
That's crazy. Game, set, and match. This is too much. Hi everyone, and welcome to the final of the Australian Open on the women's side between Aryna Sabalenka and Elena Rybakina. It's a great matchup for the history. They've played a lot against each other, actually 3 times last year, and it's very, very close in terms of head-to-head. If you look at their whole history, they played each other 14 times, 8-6 for Sabalenka, so quite close. If you just look at last year, the last match they played was a few months ago, actually the last tournament of the year last year was the final of the WTA Masters, and Rybakina won in 2 sets, 6-3, 7-6, without being broken once. She also beat Sabalenka in semifinals of Cincinnati last summer, 6-1, 6-4. But she lost to Sabalenka in quarterfinals in Berlin, 7-6 in the third on grass. Sabalenka has 4 Grand Slam titles. Rybakina only one, was at Wimbledon. But we have to tell the story a little bit of Rybakina to understand better why she has only 1 Grand Slam, because I think it has to do with what happened. The WTA decided to suspend her coach, considering that he was not talking to her in the way they liked. He was taken out of the tour for a year, which affected her a lot because she's been working with him for a very long time and she's been very successful with him. I'm not going to comment more about the fact that the WTA took that decision. I already gave my opinion on that. She's one of the best players in the world, Rybakina, for sure. She's not here by chance. I would like to go through a few statistics that our team put together to talk about this final, and that's what I was talking about. This is the first Grand Slam final since 2008, so for a very long time. That was the final between Serena and Venus, where both finalists didn't drop a single set on their way to the final. That says a lot about how much they are dominating the game throughout the tournament. They're probably 2 of the best players. I mean, they are. Sabalenka is number 1, but Rybakina, I was more talking about Rybakina. She has to be seen as really a top 3 player for sure, even though she doesn't have the ranking. But I told you about the history. One of the biggest strengths of both players is the serve. They have huge serves. Rybakina has the record of ace in that tournament. So there is very little that separates the two on serve and return. Rybakina has won 74% of her first serves, Sabalenka 68, and both have won 58 on their second. Even though I believe that the second serve of Sabalenka is better than the one of Rybakina, who tends to have a kind of a kick, a bit slow kick. Of course, she can hit the ball harder, but then it would mean to take much more risk. Maybe she's going to do it today because Sabalenka is going to be over-aggressive on the returns, and she will have to protect herself from that. But her second serve is not as good as Sabalenka's. Sabalenka has won 43% of her first returns, Rybakina 36, and both have won 63 on their second returns. They're both very aggressive on second serve of the opponent. They're really taking their chance, and that was my point. Rybakina is going to have to push more than usual on her second serve. Both will be trying to dictate rallies, of course. Both of the players are hitting the ball unbelievably well. Both of the players try to dominate from the baseline. They're very offensive, but both of them are not great movers. So to take the lead from the first shot is going to be key. But they're going to take a lot of risks on returns for sure. Both have averaged between 122 and 126 kilometers per hour on their forehands and 117 on their backhands. And Rybakina is going to try to run around her backhand to hit forehands and attack Sabalenka's forehand side. Forehand cross-court rallies are going to be very important. You know, the one who's going to win that forehand against forehand will take a lead. And of course, they're going to change direction quite often, putting the other one on the run to avoid feeling aggression, but also because they will want to take advantage of the movement of the other one, and they will want to dictate. So let's talk about also the mental side, which is always key when it comes to the final. We could talk about the physical side, but I don't think it's going to play a big role. We're playing night, not much hit, and both of the players haven't dropped a single set, so they're fresh. But the mental in the final is key, and I mean, actually, right word, because I was thinking about Keys, Madison Keys last year against Sabalenka, or of course the Roland Garros final, where we saw that Sabalenka was not able to play her level because it was a final and the emotion caught her. This can happen to anyone, can happen to Rybakina as well, but I don't think it will. On the other hand, I think that there is still somewhere that little potential weakness in Sabalenka. I think she's going to start well, but is she going to be able to maintain it or not due to the emotion? Is she going to be able to be stable, or with ups and downs. We'll see. It's very important for Sabalenka to lead, because when she starts to be broken and has to run after the score, that's where she can panic, and that's what happened, for example, in Roland Garros when she started to miss. The match just started with a perfect combination with a slice out wide and forehand down the line from Sabalenka. We've seen a lot of those in the men's semifinal between Sinner and Djokovic yesterday. 30-15 for Sabalenka. Fantastic return from Rybakina. A forehand return, extremely fast, that prevented Sabalenka from even touching the ball. And this is what we're going to see a lot. A lot of points won after the first serve, and a lot of aggression on the second serve of Sabalenka from Rybakina. So the percentage of first serve is going to be also a big key in that final. And that's exactly what we expected. A first serve that is not good enough, and Rybakina in 2 shots puts Sabalenka on the run at a fast pace, and Sabalenka is not able to deal with it. Again, the movement is definitely the Achilles tendon of Sabalenka. Oh, wow, what a return from Rybakina on the first serve. Down the line, you see that Rybakina expected a slice serve. She anticipated it, and look at the frustration of Sabalenka already. We're in the first game. Oof, great serve to save this one, and Sabalenka already under stress. What we expected is already there. If Rybakina is able to start leading, Sabalenka can start to be very emotional, and then anything can happen. And she had bad souvenirs also, Sabalenka. Last year's final was really painful for her. This defeat against Madison Keys was really very painful. Deoxydine, it's the first time you're chatting. Welcome to the chat also. Advantage Rybakina, breakpoint, second breakpoint already for the player from Kazakhstan. Actually, she's from Russia, but she changed her nationality. Second serve, super aggressive, Rybakina, and a forehand down the line missed. For the moment, Rybakina is playing too fast for Sabalenka. That's exactly what she hates. That's also the reason why Sabalenka lost semi-final against Anisimova in Wimbledon. Players who are able to aggress her a lot and play fast and move her really put her in trouble. Again, she's winning against 99% of the players because of the quality of her serve and the quality of her return on second serve. So she's taking the lead in the rallies most of the time. So she's not the one running. She's the one that makes the other one run. 1-0, Rybakina break straight away. Let's see how she serves. It's going to be a key. In the final of the WTA Masters, she hit 13 aces. She will have to have that level, and she starts with an ace. 15 love. X-Waitik. Listen, yeah, she's probably going to be under stress. That's why it's important for Sabalenka to start getting into the match and avoid having to run after the score. But the 1-0, for me, it's all because of Rybakina, because she hit 2 incredible returns, and she played very fast and put really Sabalenka under huge pressure. Look at the frustration. It's 1-0, and Sabalenka is already showing signs of frustration and stress. Rybakina is looking to win her 10th match in a row win against a top 10 opponent. And she beat Sabalenka, Swiatek, and Pegula. That was the last 3. Again, Rybakina is leading in terms of aces in that tournament. She's number 1. 40 love. Again, Sabalenka looking at her team between every point, showing so much frustration. Actually, it was a good kick serve because she found a short cross angle, so she pulled Sabalenka out of the court. Sabalenka, who tried to be aggressive still, she will have to. I would say that the mental side is the strength and the weakness of Sabalenka at the same time. The strength because she has an incredible mindset. She really has so much mental power, but dealing with her emotion is really something that hurt her many times so far in her career. So it's at the same time her strength and her weakness. And I think that Rybakina started the match in the best possible way to put Sabalenka under stress straight away. You see, when she returns a bit slower, Sabalenka hits a winner straight away. Sabalenka got broken with 80% of first serves in, which is interesting. She served only 2 second serves so far, and she didn't win 1 point. And again, second serve, boom, forehand winner from Rybakina. And so far, Rybakina is pushing on her first serve, the speed higher, but second serve, they serve the same, by the way. 140 kilometers per hour on second serves. The quality of the second serve of Rybakina was a little bit better in that first game. She was able to find better angle and put Sabalenka on the move. Sabalenka was not able, and she got hit. Another second serve was deeper and very good. Forehand winner. It's really, these Grand Slam finals are so mental. And 2 game points for Sabalenka. She really needs her first game. Another second serve. The percentage dropped in that second game because of probably the emotion. And she's in danger on each of her second serves. She takes a big risk. She goes for big on second serve. The rally's going now. And a backhand mistake from Sabalenka. Rybakina, in most of the situations, she's really dealing way better with her emotions than Sabalenka. And ex-Waitik, why do players blame coaches always? That's unfortunately a very bad habit that has a lot of players have taken. Let's go into normal life. You have your partner, and when you are stressed, when you have problems, it's a way to put your stress away. You need to take it out, and you need to take it out on someone, and you take it out on the persons that are close to you. Is it a good attitude? 100% no. It's a terrible attitude. And if you think about tennis, those guys are working for you. They're fighting for you. They're doing everything they can to make you the best you can. So why would you attack them when you're in trouble? You should rely on them, not attack them. But that's a very common behavior that you see more and more, because that's something that I think people feel like doing, most of them. And as they see that others are doing, they feel free to do it as well. But, this has to stop. It's really completely wrong. When you're under stress, you need help. If you shout at your people, what kind of help can you get? You don't get any help. You'd better listen and try to get something that you maybe need badly in that moment. This happened to me, not so much in my career. It happened to me twice. In both cases, that was the end of the relation for me with the player. I don't accept it. I'm prepared to help the player deal with it during the matches. I propose it every time let's work together and find other ways to deal with your stress during the matches rather than doing this. But it's also how much you respect yourself. Do you accept to spend every match being shouted at for no reason, or you say no, I don't accept it. You have to respect me, and that's the basis of any kind of good relationship. Second serve, that's amazing what she just did. Took the ball very early and move Sabalenka. If you're able to use Sabalenka's power to redirect the ball and keep her on the move, this is where she's the weakest. Again, the way Rybakina redirect that forehand cross-court attack was amazing. 30-15. Ooh. A bit lucky, Rybakina, on this one, because she played the wrong zone, because Sabalenka was running there. Yeah, she had to find a way to hit that ball in. Frustration. Hi, Linda. Good to see that you're following. Second serve. Interesting to see that Sabalenka, who misses that forehand, moved back a little bit more back on second serve. She usually is inside the court, and at the start of the match, she was inside the court to attack the second serves of Rybakina. But in this case, she moved back. She doesn't want to miss. And 6 unforced errors to 2. For Sabalenka for the moment. It's due to the fact that she's playing a Grand Slam final, but it's also due to the fact that Rybakina started the match so strong, and she immediately caused huge stress to Sabalenka, who realized, oh my God, this girl can beat me. Yeah, I've seen Rybakina show some frustration, but it's very subtle every time. Very subtle. She's not very... they're opposite in terms of personality. One is super loud and outgoing, and the other one is very, very closed, and everything happens inside. She doesn't share much. It's different personalities. That's fine. Yeah, that's true. Mumbo, she said this to her coach, Rybakina. We both started the match so shit, she said. Very good return. Oh, and the backhand down the line is missed, but... she had the shot to hit a winner on the second shot after a good return again. Sabalenka is quite fast in defense when you're able to open the court and play fast. And that's actually what impresses me the most with players like Sinner and Alcaraz, because when they're moved, they most of the time always find a way to counter-attack rather than be defensive. Okay, I get a statistics that is interesting. Sabalenka has started serving mostly to Rybakina's forehand side. She's hit 2 aces. But if Rybakina hits the forehand return in, she wins 83% of the points, both on first and second serve. That's really interesting. And if Rybakina hit a forehand in the rally, she didn't lose a single point. It's interesting because a few years ago, her forehand was really her weakness. The backhand was way better, but she worked so much on it. It became the shot that she hurts the most with. Best morning combo. Workout at the gym. Australian Open final on screen. The best commentator, thank you, in my ears. What a privilege to feel this close to the game. Thank you, Maximer0608. That's nice to hear. Who are the best players you have trained? I worked with a lot of good players. I was lucky. I can name Igor Dimitrov on the men's side, Holger Rune, Marcos Bagdatis, long time ago. My longest collaboration was with Serena Williams. So we started in 2012. We did 10 years together and 10 Grand Slam titles. But I also worked with two players who were number one, Naomi Osaka and Simona Halep. Let's go back at it. Still a very low percentage of first serve for Rybakina. That's an area in which she will have to improve. But the second serve is amazing. Slice out wide. Unexpected from Sabalenka, who again shows huge frustration. 30% of first serves in is very low, but look at that. 100% of points won on first and 86 on second. Look at how Rybakina moves up to every ball, every time she has the opportunity, and that's amazing. For the moment, I worked with Tsitsipas also, but I mean, I found him when he was 16 years old. My team worked with him, not me directly, but of course I was involved. And then I just did one tournament with him, coaching, and it was the ATP Finals, the year he won it. But I never really coached him, so that's why I didn't name him. Also, I can name Coco Gauff, that I found when she was 10 and has developed at my tennis academy for so many years. Wow, Rybakina's game quality so far is too good. Honestly, too good for Sabalenka. Yes, Sabalenka is missing too much. Yes, Sabalenka is emotional. But yes, Rybakina plays unbelievable tennis. Unbelievable tennis. What an angle backhand she just hit. And what I can tell from the start is that every time Sabalenka gives her half a meter, she takes it. She moves forward before hitting every single ball. And so far, we could think that the percentage of first serve would be key, but she's so good, even serving second, that it doesn't really have consequences. In the game, she's too dominant. And you see when you play twice the same spot against Sabalenka, she goes down the line. And this match will be a lot about being able to go down the line very early in the rally to, again, put the opponent on the run. Yes, I was in the box, XY tick. Crypto Basilu, good morning. Welcome to the show. When I say show, of course, I mean this Grand Slam final. Oh, what a forehand with an angle. I was talking about putting Sabalenka on the run. How good does Rybakina do it? Amazing. But Sabalenka did defend quite well on the second slice forehand. I think Rybakina could have gone down the line and followed at the net, but she decided not to. Let's focus on the final, Aimumbo. But yes, I'll be happy to send you some videos of our juniors. We actually, Les Petits As, which is the World Championship under 14, is underway. And we have two players in semifinals, one on the boys' side, one on the girls' side. We have some of the best juniors in the world practicing at the academy now for 20 years. And a great kick serve, second serve, with a great angle for Rybakina. And she won 78% of her second serves, which is a surprise against Sabalenka. But look at the quality of her second serve so far in that match. If she can maintain that, she prevents herself from being attacked by Sabalenka because of the quality of the angle. Johnny 150802, I'm going to continue this. You know, if you guys like it, if you guys tell me continue, then I will. I can even do the Masters 1000, why not? And what I plan to do is 2 shows per week, so we can talk about tennis as much as we want to. Thank you, Aimumbo. No, I mean, yes, first of all, I'm sick, but also I slept 3 to 4 hours every night because I was doing night match and day match. So yes, I lost my voice. Thank you, Crypto Basilu. I will. Second serve, and boom. I mean, that was not an excellent second serve return, but still fast. Do I still do private coaching? I still work with my players at the academy, of course, and I do sometimes private coaching also. Of course, I didn't stop coaching. I'm not on tour, and I don't plan to be on tour for the next years because it's a personal decision. Even though there are so many great, exciting players to work with at the moment, but I don't want to do it again for personal reasons. Second serve, a bit short the return, and immediate punishment from Sabalenka. What I found out is since Rybakina has the break, she's softer when it comes to return. She's not as aggressive as she was at the start of the match. And a great ace from Sabalenka. 4 aces already for the Belarusian, only 1 for Rybakina. And what is interesting is on the serve side, Sabalenka is really dominating. 4 aces, 61% of first serves in. But Rybakina is up a break. And she can serve 100 times better than what she's doing at the moment. So that's a bit scary for Sabalenka. She had only 1 ace. I told you in the final of the WTA Masters just a few months ago when she beat Sabalenka in the final, she scored 13 aces. She just hit 1. So, and she hit only 40% of first serves and still didn't got broken because 83% of points on her first and 78 on her second. So far, her second serve is so good that she prevents herself from being attacked. A lot of questions. No, my children are playing tennis just for fun. I don't want them to be on tour. That's such a strange life. I would not advise this life unless it's your passion, the passion of your life, but it's a tough life. Rybakina to serve, very good first, good return, but boom, forehand winner from Rybakina. She forced Sabalenka to slow down. Hi, bring a cupcake official. I'm good. I mean, my voice is not. I feel I'm a bit sick, but the excitement of those Grand Slam finals is my medicine. One rally where both of the players are kind of equal because no advantage from the serve and backhand unforced errors from Rybakina. It's interesting again because Rybakina's backhand was by far her best shot a few years back, and so she worked so much on her forehand. Now she's making more points with the forehand. The second serve, 15-all. I feel that the match is started to be more equal because Rybakina also slowed down. Yeah, yesterday we almost passed out. 9 hours of commentating with 3 hours of sleep. That was a bit brutal, but I mean, listen, how good was it? That's what's amazing about this job is when your job is your passion, then those 9 hours went so fast. Serve out, it's going to be second serve again, and now the percentage on second serve of points won is dropping. Second serve, very good kick. Sabalenka is far back to return down the line, of course, and it's out. Ooh, and 2 break points for Sabalenka. It was just out, but that's the right thing. The pace of the shots of Rybakina dropped after a few games and giving more opportunities to Sabalenka to be in charge and to push Rybakina. She will need her first serve now, and here it is, ace. 1 more break point for Sabalenka. Oh, and she can't return this one. She can't return this one, Sabalenka. Look at how frustrated she is. I think way too big take back for a return on her first serve that is really fast. It's really just turn the shoulders and move forward. Turn the shoulders if you start to prepare on a first serve against a player who serves at 190 or more. You have no chance. Ooh, Sabalenka was ready to destroy that racket. By the way, you see, 15-40, 3 first serves in, world of difference. 82% of points won after a first serve for Rybakina. Thank you, Mura45. I'll do that. I have some honey. Second serve. Sabalenka really ready to jump on it. She's inside the court this time and she goes for it. Sabalenka a little bit stuck. She didn't move forward on this one. That's why she missed. And that's the thing. Against her, you have to put her on her heels by pushing her, playing fast at her, and especially on the sides. And if you say something more general, that's a big difference between men and women's tennis. Men are moving faster, so when they move to the sides, a lot of the guys are still very dangerous. Look at Sinner, look at Djokovic, look at Alcaraz. And on the women's side, it's always paying dividends to be super aggressive on the first shot, because once you put them on the players on the move, you have the hand and you're dominating. That's why historically the immense majority of the best players in the world in the history, the Grand Slam winners, are players who are good at serving and aggressive on returns. Sharapova, Serena, Sabalenka. Yes, Sabalenka has been very consistent in this tournament, but she's number one. There is a reason for that. She's very consistent. Again, not many players are able to move her at a fast pace. Just a few. If you look at the ones she lost to last year or in general in her career, it's players who are able to do that. Rybakina, of course, and I named Anisimova. I think the way Anisimova is able to play fast is amazing. And I would say that her second weakness is, again, the mental side when it comes to the big matches, because sometimes she's too emotional and she loses control of her emotions. Coco has been able to take advantage of this a few times because she's such a fighter. You saw when we talk about movement, that drop shot of Rybakina, how long it took her to initiate the move forward. You want to know if Rybakina's rank is going to change after this match, even if she loses? Let me see. 5-4 Rybakina, who's going to serve for the first set. Sorry, but I need honey. Ura 45, thank you for the recipe for my throat. I did it last night, by the way. Because last night after the match, the evening came, I was speaking like this. I couldn't speak. I lost my voice completely. Here's the answer. Rybakina is going to be number 3, whether she wins or loses on Monday. I said it before the match. I think that Rybakina is going to win. First of all, I think she has the keys to beat her. Second, I think that emotionally it's going to be tough for Sabalenka because she lost to her not so long ago, and because she still has in mind her last year's final against Keys that was a bit traumatizing on the same court. That's a great return down the line, but the second serve was slower from Rybakina. She will badly need some first serves in this game, which is an emotional game. She served for the set. It's always difficult to serve for a set or for a match for everyone, and that's a great serve out wide, which is her favorite, by the way. Missed first serve, and by far shows that Rybakina is feeling it at the moment, the pressure. She knows winning the first set would be a big step. Ooh la la, that's a big mistake from Sabalenka. Rybakina, who could only play down the line and short, exposing herself. She just had to take the ball early and go cross-court, Sabalenka, but she did not. She waited for the ball. I mean, she moved a little bit forward, sorry, on the slow motion we see it, but she's still really far. She's still behind the baseline. It's a very good serve out wide again. Good return. And, oh, that's close, but it's out. The forehand of Rybakina, who shows the first signs of frustration on this one. Very subtle, but she did show it. She knows it's a big mistake. It was really an easy forehand for her. And forced errors forehand, 2 for Rybakina, 4 for Sabalenka. Important point. 30 all, very important. Good serve, slice to the forehand of Sabalenka. Forehand hits the net. I thought he would go on the other side, but it stayed on the same side. So first set point for Rybakina on her serve. Is she going to go out wide once more? It gave her 2 easy shots. She did, but she missed it. Second serve. Okay, Mura 45. Let's do a tennis match. If Sabalenka wins. Good rally. Ends up with a good forehand cross-court from Rybakina, who forces the mistake of Sabalenka. 6-4 for the player from Kazakhstan in that first set. Rybakina in a deep discussion with her coach that she trusts so much, that she had so much good results with. And we have a statistics that is explaining extremely well what's happening in that match so far. That's about the depth of the balls of Rybakina that makes such a huge difference. On first serve return, she has won 100% of the points when she's able to play in the deepest part of the court. So when she returns deep, she wins 100%. 0% when she returned anywhere else than deep in the court. During the rally, She has won 100% of the points when one of her shots land in the deepest third of the court. 50% only if it lands shorter than this zone. So you see, where is the key? The key is to prevent Sabalenka from dictating. When you play deep, when you are Rybakina, not everybody is, but you win 100% of the points because you dictate and put Sabalenka on the run and prevent Sabalenka from being the one who dictates. When you play short, you give the opportunity to Sabalenka to dictate, be the one that's moving you, and then it's a completely different story. She's able to hit a winner after one or two shots. So that shows also that it's not so much Sabalenka who plays bad, but it's also Rybakina who has the keys, and that's what I said in the preview of the match. I think there is an edge for Rybakina on that match. You never know because a Grand Slam final is so emotional, but I would say that mentally Rybakina is more stable for a Grand Slam final, and also she has the keys in her game. Sabalenka is able to raise her level, serve better, and return better. So far, she has moved back. If you look at the start of the match, and now she has moved back a little bit because she was missing too many returns on the second serve of her opponent. Let's see what she does in that second set. She took a very long break. She used the rule that allowed her to leave the court and take time. She came back with a different mindset, being able to forget about what happened and have a clear game plan, which she had at the start, but it exploded fast. Yeah, we'll talk about the serve of Rybakina, which I agree with that. Her serve is amazing technically. And I always talk about that because to me it's really a key. You'll see, if you see a slow motion of her serve, Rybakina, who's stressed, we see it. She's looking at her coach a lot, showing a bit some kind of frustration. When she hits the ball, this is the lower part of the body, this is the higher part of the body. She's completely straight, which allows her to hit the ball at the highest point. A lot of players are like this. And look, the difference of height, they're losing height because they're tossing a bit too much in front and they have to bend their upper part of the body. 40-15, so far 5 aces to 2. And that's an interesting stat. Rybakina won the first set serving only 48% of her serves. And again, when they played each other in the final of the WTA finals a few months ago, 2 months ago, Rybakina served 64% of her serves and Sabalenka 67%, which is even better. 1-0 Sabalenka. That's a good shot from Sabalenka. And after a good shot, she had the short ball, and that was it. 15-0. I feel what's inside Sabalenka at the moment. She's trying to keep it inside. She's really in pain. She's forcing the serve at the moment, Rybakina. Really forcing, trying to hit harder. It affects her first serve percentage. No, I'm not saying she should take it out. I'm just saying clearly what she says to herself is affecting her. The words she's using when she has this inner talk is not being a positive one, and you can see it on her face. Amazing serve, forehand, inside in after that. But even though I think the return of Sabalenka was quite good, her first serve came back at the right time. 10 winners for Elena. Short return from Sabalenka. Game over on that point. 14 winners for Sabalenka, 11 for Rybakina, and the same number of unforced errors. Second serve again. Sabalenka inside the court to return this one. She's ready to go for it. And she goes for it, and it's in. Very good return down the line, backhand. That's key for Sabalenka to break early in the second set. Otherwise, it might be boiling, and anything can happen. Signs of frustration, which just tells us that she says negative things to herself. Oh my God, I'm playing so bad. She's so lucky, or stuff like that. Change that talk, and you'll feel completely different. I'm not saying it's easy, huh? I know it's not, and all the people who have played competition in tennis at any level have had to deal with themselves. And if you want to win those matches, it's all about winning first the match within yourself and being able to have a good discussion with yourself during the match rather than a negative one. And while I was saying that, Rybakina just hit a second double fault, and that's a classic too. The opponent hits return winners and you feel you have to force. You're stressed by forcing the return of your opponent, and that forces a mistake. A good return from Sabalenka that pushed Rybakina to slow down and then hit a winner. You see how important that is? The first shot, first and second, of course, serve and return. The quality of the serve and the return basically tells you who's going to win the point. I mean, except sometimes a big mistake, but most of the time that's what it is. A big let's go from Sabalenka, who anticipates this one well. Oh, what a volley from Rybakina. Amazing volley. That was not an easy one. The ball was under the net, but she had the guts to come to the net after this shot. Actually, that's a good return from Sabalenka. I don't have the sound, but I can tell you for sure that she's shouting like crazy. Rybakina, who slows down with more spin. You should not do that against Sabalenka because she has more time to move and she can be aggressive. When you play flat and fast and you're opening the court, she can't. Another break point for the Belarusian, who's increasing at the moment her number of winners. Rybakina needs the first serve. If she's preventing Sabalenka from breaking, it's going to build even more the frustration. So that's really so important for her. It's a second serve. Sabalenka staying behind the baseline on this one. She doesn't step in. And that was a mistake because then she returned too short and Rybakina was able to hit a winner forehand. That's one of the most important moments of that final so far because, again, if Rybakina finds a way to avoid the break, it increases the stress on Sabalenka that she's already struggling with. Good serve, good return in. Oh, yes, that's good. That's good tennis on both sides. Forehand to forehand. Oh, la la, that's not a good shot from Rybakina. She tried to slice the forehand, and she played it under the net, and then she's under stress immediately. It was more Sabalenka dictating on this one. She slowed down a little bit, allowing Sabalenka to control better the rallies. So that's why at the moment it's switching. The return was good, but a bit short. Rybakina took advantage straight away. And so for the moment, she's serving more first serves, but not a good zones. That was a very good one. Incredible return from Sabalenka. 13-5 for Rybakina on pressure points in that match so far. You remember yesterday was exactly the same case between Djokovic and Sinner. Djokovic won less points than Sinner in the whole match. He was so much better on all the pressure points. And he showed one more time why he is the GOAT and why he had the career and the achievements he had. If you look at how good he is when it counts the most. And I think that match was a summary of his career. Back to deuce. Sabalenka really needs that break. Rybakina knows that Sabalenka makes it. She's going to start to loosen up and play better. And a good serve, 190. On the other hand, if Sabalenka doesn't get the break, the frustration level will go even one level up. Second serve, Sabalenka decides, okay, on this one, I'm inside the court. I'm going to go for it. She clearly says it with her position, but misses it down the line. And frustration again. My God, what's happening? I'm playing so bad. That's exactly what she's saying to herself. And I've seen in my career players start the match with a positive mindset. Things happen that make them completely switch from a positive inner talk to a negative one. And their level is going that way because the more they have negative talk, the more mistakes they do or the less well they play because frustration builds up, which brings even more negative talk and more. And then at the end of the match, the level went from here to there, and that's why they lose. This is what champions in general are really good at. They're controlling what they say to themselves, and they keep talking to themselves in a way that lifts them up rather than take them down. And you see again, when it's Sabalenka who's able to open the court and make Rybakina run, you see how much in trouble she is because this ball was not even fast, but with a good angle, and Rybakina couldn't even hit the ball even close to the court. Rybakina's level dropped. It's really shocking if you look at her level in the first 2-3 games and now, and this is called playing a Grand Slam final. Rybakina, she really struggles now. She's missing so much, and she's showing her coach that she doesn't feel the ball. Definitely, she can see herself winning for sure. After the first set, she sees she has the technical keys and the tactical keys to beat Sabalenka today. And this immediately came to her mind, brought a lot of stress. That's why it's so important in tennis to stay in the present, because if you start to foresee the future, it affects you emotionally. And also, oh, what a good shot on the run. That's a great angle again. And if you think still about the past, what you haven't been able to achieve in the past, it affects your mindset. 2-1 for Sabalenka. No break. But if you just look at the second set and you ask, okay, who's better at the moment? I think Sabalenka is better at the moment. So we have to see, and that's what we're going to look at, if Rybakina finds a way to come back to the level she had in the first set. Moving up to the ball and continuing her movement forward with the ball. That's the best way to hit the drop shots. She did because she wanted to follow at the net, but even if you don't want to follow at the net, same with the drop shot and with the volley, ideally 2 steps after you hit the ball. Why? Because then your body weight goes completely through the ball and increases your control. Otherwise, if you stop, the contact is very short, and this is where the ball goes up or escapes from the racket. Whether you're hitting a volley or a drop shot, it's the same. Rybakina back serving in that second set, 185. Serve speed, they're really close in first serve. 176 for Sabalenka, 179 for Rybakina. Statistic-wise, very, very close. 16 winners to 14 for Sabalenka. Same number of unforced errors on both sides, 11. So it's all about how they played on the most important points, and so far, the Rybakina has been way better. Good serve again when the first serve is in. It's a world of difference. 40 love for Rybakina. And to answer, bring a cupcake. Sorry, official. Yes, of course. If you look at 2 that I think will soon get into very, very high level, I would say Victoria Mboko, or 3, Iva Jovic. And there is this young Australian that lost in the first round, Emerson Jones. Those 3 players we should definitely follow. Second serve again. Sabalenka too far from the bounce. You know, on a second serve, if you are too far from the bounce, the ball is going to pull you really out, you know, and you'll be with your hands too far from your body, and they won't be able to move together in the direction where you want to play. So that's why you have to be closer to where the ball bounces. Usually, Sabalenka is way more inside the court to return. 2 games all. Second serve, let's see. And poof, she's so much inside the court, Rybakina. Took the ball early, went backhand down the line winner. You see, she was close to the bounce. Hands, body together, double full king. Thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate a lot, because it shows that you really enjoy the streamings. As I said, I'm going to continue throughout the year, and we'll do a lot of different things. Also some discussions involving other people in tennis. Good first serve, Sabalenka. Rybakina mishit that return, 40-15. Though the match now is really becoming a close match. I couldn't say that at the beginning. And Sabalenka looks more relaxed. But that's a big mistake. Oh, again, big frustration for Sabalenka. She should have put that overhead away. But Rybakina just chose the right side and was able to hit a big lob deep. You know what? It's a great thing to feel strong, to feel good, to feel you're the best, to think you're the best, to see yourself great. I mean, when you're doing sports, if you see the other one better than you, I mean, there is little chances you're going to win the match. And all the best players feel this about themselves. But it shouldn't go too far in terms of thinking, well, the other one is shit. The other one is not good. And if I'm losing, it's not normal, because this, first of all, it's not true. And second of all, it brings a lot of frustration, because then you don't understand, how is it possible that I'm losing that match, I'm too good, and then you're not competing well. So it's both seeing yourself great and respecting the opponent. And in some cases, I don't feel this, especially when it comes to Sabalenka. You hear what she says when she loses the match. It's always she played shit and the opponent is not good. That's what she said after she lost in the final of Roland Garros about Coco, or what she said after losing to Rybakina in the final of the Masters. So that's what hurts her. I think that's what is hurting her. Don't think the other one is not good. The other one has keys to beat you. Does it make the other one a better player than you? No. It's not that if you lose, it's because you played bad. If you win, it's normal. This is not the right way to handle a match at that level. And it's dangerous. It can make you, at some point, lose your game, lose your mind, because you can't accept that the other one is playing well too, and you're not clear on how to beat her. If I go further, if you're losing only because you don't play well, then the only way to win is to play well, which is not true. It's more about finding solutions, and the solutions is not to play well. The solutions is to find solutions. And it's something that someone like Novak is unbelievable with, because a lot of times you feel, today the guy is better, but he ends up winning. Or the other one has the keys against Novak, yes, but Novak wins. I had this discussion with him at a time he was beating Rafa a lot, and he was explaining to me, okay, this is how I play against Rafa. I do this. When I do this, this is what he does, and he brings me the ball that I want, and then I can win the point. And he's focusing only on the tactics, not I play well, or if I lose, it's because I don't play well. No, great serve from Rybakina. We're going to continue the discussion on that. Just a few points, 30-15. That's a great shot, because if you hit one shot fast moving Sabalenka, you have the short ball. When you have the short ball, you step up and you go the other side. And then she's even running more, and she's going to miss or not touch the ball. 2 game points for Rybakina. That's what I'm saying. In that match, Rybakina has the key, because she has the game to do what she needs to do to beat Sabalenka. Both should have the same tactics, because they have the same kind of qualities and they have the same kind of weaknesses. So rather than trying to slow down or hit hard, take the ball early. I think Sabalenka should be inside the court on every second serve of Rybakina, whatever happens. When she moved back, I think it was a big mistake. And in the game, open the court as early as you can. Don't go twice the same zone. Game, Rybakina. We have a statistics. Maybe we can see it. 2-1 in the second set. That was at 2-1 in the second set. 73% is the percentage of points won by Rybakina kicking the second serve into Sabalenka's backhand on that side. And I tell you, a lot of this has to do with the fact that Sabalenka is a bit too far back, and the kick serve is taking her hands away from her body. In this situation, Sabalenka has won when stepping far into the court, and she has mostly stayed behind. Yeah, when she's inside the court, she's won the points more than when she stepped back. I don't know why she slices the forehand, Rybakina. That's strange. The ball is on her. There is no obvious reason for slicing, and I put that, for me, it's about stress. But once again, it's all about entering the point the right way. It's a good question why the roof is closed. I don't know if it's closed, Tefaru, but okay, because they expect rain. There is a potential rain, so they prefer to probably to close the roof. Second serve. Ooh, that was a deep second serve. And yeah, that's the right thing to do for Rybakina. She was stepping in. She went for the winner. The ball hit the top of the net. Okay, accept to miss some because you take more risks, but you get more reward. Oh, what a point! With a lot of volleys. Wow, beautiful. Beautiful. Started with a good slice backhand. Very short and difficult, but from Rybakina, Sabalenka hits a good drop shot. And the good thing she did is, instead of going back to the baseline, she decided, Sabalenka, to hit a volley on the slice backhand of Rybakina, taking time away from her. And 40-15 Sabalenka, 2 game points. This one's out. But as Rybakina was extremely aggressive on the previous one, she probably forced her second serve. That was fast and missed it. 40-30. It's obvious with the body language that Sabalenka is thinking, oh, I hit a shitty second serve. Yes, maybe you missed it, but you went for it because you were trying to avoid being under pressure on the other one's return, because she's done it so far quite well. So basically, she forced you to do something, get out of your comfort zone and miss. So it's not that you don't play well, it's also that the other one is putting you under pressure. First serve again. First one hit the net, it's out. Second serve, that's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen on this one. Rybakina behind the baseline. Is she going to step in or not? Yes, she does step in, and she goes back and down the line. Exactly what Sabalenka was fearing in the previous one, and exactly why she missed her second serve. That's an amazing return, fully committed. Hands and body went straight to the line, down the line. And when both the hands and the body are going in the right direction, the chances of success are really big. First serve is in, and it's a serve winner for Sabalenka. See how important it is to serve the first serve in. That's crazy. 82% of points won after a first serve for Sabalenka, and a good first serve again. And game, Sabalenka. She's probably thinking, oh, you see, that's easy. I just have to serve in. Yeah, okay, but you serve 65% in, which is your average percentage of first serve. So you're doing well, but you're not doing bad. But on second serve, yes, you're under pressure. double fold king, you saw my giveaway on Instagram. You're 14 from Denmark. Nice to meet you. You've been playing for 2 years, so you can still play, of course. 4-3. Sabalenka, Rybakina to serve. Second, very deep. And as second is deep and Sabalenka is behind the baseline to return, she hits a backhand that is too neutral and she gets attacked straight away. That's not the right tactic. You have to commit. I would coach Sabalenka. I would tell her, okay, you're missing a bit more than usual. You feel so. I don't think it's true, but that's what you feel. I don't discuss it. But what is sure is the winning game is a game in which you take advantage on the second serves of Rybakina and an ace. You see how important that game was at the start of the second? Because I tell you at 4-all, because it looks like it's going to be 4-all, 40 love for Rybakina. Sabalenka will be under a huge amount of stress. Rybakina has hit more aces than anyone on the women's side at this Australian Open. That leads me to an anecdote about Serena. When we started to work together in 2012, she had a very difficult time, hadn't won a Grand Slam for 2 years, so there was a lot of doubt, and we start after her first loss at Roland Garros. Second serve, let's see. Yeah, well, good shot from Rybakina, moving Sabalenka at a fast pace, and she's really in doubt with her game. And we go to Wimbledon, and I think, okay, let's focus on her serve, because that's the shot that prevent her from losing early, and then we're going to build on that and build confidence by winning. Great serve from Sabalenka. Rybakina cannot return. And she won that first Grand Slam we did work together. It was Wimbledon. And she didn't play well at all the first rounds because she was under so much. I mean, she had very little confidence. But she served unbelievably well throughout the whole tournament. And that's how she won it. And her game started to come back in the quarters or the semis, not before. She hit more aces than any woman and any man in the tournament. Men are playing 5 sets, women 3. That's a crazy statistic. Great rally, where both players were playing fast, and but as you can see, Sabalenka didn't have to move, and she was the first one to open down the line. 2 central, this backhand from Rybakina, the other one also on her backhand, and the first one that opens will win the point most of the time in that match. 40-15, but I think Sabalenka was lucky that Rybakina didn't return in the 2 first serves. She was close to, that's why I said lucky. I know it sounds so absurd, Stefaru, to hear that Serena had no self-confidence at some point, but that was the case. When you're in, I mean, whoever you are, whatever confidence, general confidence you have, when you're failing many times. She didn't win a Grand Slam for 2 years at that time, and she lost in the first round of Roland Garros. That was really a shocker, and I think that affected her game, her confidence in her game. Not a confidence of who she is or the champion she is or her general abilities, but it was a moment, and it came back very fast because, as I said, she won Wimbledon. Then a few weeks later, she won the 2 gold medals at the Olympics, singles and doubles. Then she won the US Open. And then she won the WTA Championship and back to number 1. So it came back fast, but at that special time, the confidence was low. 5-4. Shelton or Felix winning a Grand Slam this year? I don't think so. Because I think, again, there is too much to work on for those guys. Oh la la, that's a big miss from Rybakina. The ball was really short. She was there. Sabalenka was really far. She decided to drop shot, which is not what she does best. She progressed in that. Good first serve, but good return deep from Sabalenka, who can dictate, and boom. 30 love. Big point coming now because it can give 3 set points in a row to Sabalenka. Second serve. That's better. She opens the court down the line. No. And a miss. Yeah, the match is really changing at the moment. I think Rybakina is playing a little bit too much cross court. She doesn't move Sabalenka enough. Sabalenka serving well. But look at that, 84% on first serve for Sabalenka, 42 on second. And 3 set points in a row for the Belarusian. Rybakina would be well inspired to find her first serve back. And she doesn't. It's not as fluid as usual. And that's it. 1 set all, 6-4, Rybakina, 6-4, Sabalenka. Somebody's dancing here. Rybakina took a toilet break, which Sabalenka did after losing the first set. It was a good move from Sabalenka. It helped her come back with better mindset, more composed. She's getting frustrated at the moment by the length of the toilet break of Rybakina. She spoke to her coach in the ear. She didn't want people to hear what she was saying. She should be able to use the time to increase your focus, increase your intentions. But they count the time once you enter the locker room until you leave the locker room. Doesn't include the time that you take to walk. Once the time is over, they knock on the door and they say, time over. Oh, it's still 51% the win predictor for Rybakina. I think Sabalenka served better. And I think that on the other side, Rybakina was not able to be aggressive enough returning, as she did in the first set, because she was returning very deep, preventing Sabalenka from being aggressive, and then she moved her really well. Oh, here we are. We have some stats. I just told you that she served better, Sabalenka. She won 95% on first serve compared to 74%, and on second, the opposite. But she served 66% of first serves, which prevented her from getting broken. Rybakina didn't win as many points on her first serve, not as many, but it's due to the fact that she was going for bigger targets, not so close to the lines. In the rallies, she got more dominated. I think she played too much cross. She didn't open the court as well as she did in the first set, and that made the difference. Was the points won on second serve, and as her percentage of first serve is actually better in the second, but she dropped really on the points won on second serve. Second serve, 30-15 for Sabalenka. Rybakina, I think she's not moving forward as well on second serves of Sabalenka. Again, on this one, she's far. She's too far. She's not inside the court. 1-0. And now, of course, Sabalenka feeling more confident. She goes for it more on the second serves of Rybakina. This one was short. And look, she's inside the court. Not only she takes time away, but also she's closer to the bounce, so she can really put the body and the hands together. And not enough first serves for Rybakina. Actually, that's something she needs to work on after the tournament, because even in semifinals, she kind of lost a little bit her rhythm with the serve. But in this third set, the emotional part will be even playing a bigger role. OJ Youngboy, I said it, I didn't sleep much in the last 14 days, commentating day and night, and spent a lot of hours talking. Just yesterday, 9 hours. Last 15 points, it's 12-3 for Sabalenka. Another very good return. And once you start the point well, as I said, most of the time you end it well. You see the beautiful forehand technique. 25% of first serves in that first game for Rybakina. So far, I don't feel that the toilet break did benefit Rybakina as much as it did benefit Sabalenka. Look, Rybakina is playing too slow, and she's going to be in danger. Both players playing crazy deep, and Sabalenka, if you play cross too much against Sabalenka, you're done. And a break point in the first game, Sabalenka's mindset at the moment is way better than Rybakina's. Hit 17% of first serves in that game, 1 out of 6. It's strange to me because Rybakina started the match so well mentally. She was really locked in and ready to go for winners and take her chance. And since the start of the second, she's way more passive. Oof, that's a big miss from Sabalenka. The ball was so slow and high on her forehand in the box. But she probably saw that Rybakina anticipated there. That's true that so far it's the exact repetition of the final of 2023 between those two players. Since the start of her career, Elena Rybakina, she lost only one match in her whole career in a Grand Slam on hard courts after winning the first set. It was at the Australian Open in final after she won the first set 6-4 against Aryna Sabalenka. How good is that? This has been posted by Jeux, Set et Mat. And I think also we have to credit Sabalenka for being able to return Rybakina's first serve way better in the second set. Second serve, 50% only of first serve, and that could be a turning point if Rybakina finds a way to break back straight away. It's a great serve. That pushes Rybakina to return short, and then easy forehand winner for Sabalenka. Back to deuce, and a good first serve again. I find it a bit strange that Rybakina doesn't move back to return the first serves to give herself more time because she looks rushed every time. She struggles to return, to step in on second inside the baseline, but to return the first maybe 1 meter more back, she would give herself more time. Done. And maybe it's going to sound strange, but I think it's all up to Rybakina, even though Sabalenka is 3-love up in the third. If Rybakina moves back to return first, if she steps in and goes for it to return second, but play away from Sabalenka, I think it's a different match. 15-love. 2 first serves and 2 points won without having to play a shot after the serve. That's a great drop shot from Sabalenka. She's become really good at it, and that's great because it's not a shot that she would use in the past. After a very good return deep, producing a short ball, of course the opponent is on her heels. The drop shot becomes the best possible shot. Same again. Beautiful backhand return cross court, but now Sabalenka is back inside the court to return the second serve, and it's a world of difference. That was a very bad move from her when she decided to step back. 30-all. She needs the first serve badly, and here we go. Beautiful ace. Sabalenka had anticipated the slice serve, a game point, and she definitely needs it. 5 aces for both players, but way less than usual for Rybakina, and another good serve. So she saves her serve. 3-1 for Sabalenka. Lost for lost. At least take your chance. Every second serve, go for it. Move her, and don't play 2 shots in the same area. Force her to move. The pace of her forehand really dropped in the third set from 124, 122 in the second, and now 103. Rybakina, I tell you, she's getting more and more conservative the more the match goes on, instead of on the other doing the exact opposite. That's a big miss from Sabalenka. No reason. The down the line was fully open for her. She decided to hit a slice backhand. 15-30. Sabalenka needs a first serve. That's a key moment now because I think Rybakina really needs to break back now. Later, it's going to be more difficult. Good return, deep, down the line, yes. Yeah, second shot down the line, whatever happens. And 2 break points for Rybakina now to come back to 2-3. Sabalenka got tight on this one and missed the forehand in the net, and the match is still alive. But when I look at the stats and I see that Rybakina wins 83% of the points on her first and 17 in her second, in that third set, it says a lot. New balls, which is an advantage when it comes to serving. First serve doesn't pass. Let's see what's happening on second. And of course, Sabalenka is close to the baseline, but she's behind the baseline, so she cannot hurt. A great backhand deep from Rybakina. Sabalenka caught by both the new balls and the line that accelerates the speed of the ball. A very good first serve. She moves Sabalenka on the second shot, and then, oh my God, what she misses, crazy. She hesitated between slice forehand and normal forehand, and she decided to go for a normal forehand that escaped completely, and she just had to put the ball in the court. Sabalenka was completely out of it. So that's a really, really big miss. 15-all. Sabalenka needs to break now. Second serve, danger. No, I don't know why Sabalenka's now again behind the baseline to return the second serves of Rybakina. I mean, nothing they do is consistent. It's crazy. It's they don't do it anymore. They do it, they don't do it. Ooh. And 30-all, Rybakina needs a first serve, second serve. What is Rybakina? Oh, now Sabalenka's inside the court. Why now? We don't know. And she wins the point. I mean, it's so mathematic. It's crazy. Break point again. But so far, Sabalenka deserves, and it's out. I don't know why she decided Sabalenka to go cross court, because she won all the points when she hit that backhand down the line. I don't understand why those players are not disciplined. It's all about discipline. It's not always true, but most of the time that's what it is. Oh, first serve in, she wins the point. I mean, discipline. You know what you have to do, you have the plan, you just execute the plan. Especially when you see that when you execute the plan, it works. And when you don't, it doesn't. First serve is in, and it's a winner. Back to 3-all. And I think the biggest mistake that Sabalenka did in that game that she should have won is the first two returns on second serve, she stayed behind the baseline, she lost both points. And second, when she had the break point, second serve, she went cross court and missed it. And every time she went down the line, she won the point. Again, lack of discipline. When you do something that works, you don't change it. 3-all. The only reason why Sabalenka would lose now the match is just because of the nerves. Because I think in the game, she's dominating. And the nerves just hit her when it came to hitting that backhand in the court. Rybakina was inside the court to return that first serve. How crazy is that? 15-30, she'd better hit a first serve in, I can tell you. And it's out. Sabalenka under huge pressure because if she loses the point, she will have to face 2 break points at 3-all in the third. What's going to happen? This end of the match is really, really emotional for both players. Very good serve. That's a very good return from Rybakina, who this time opened the court more. And 2 break points now for Rybakina. I can tell you that I don't want to be in the head of Sabalenka at the moment. Let's see if under pressure she's able to deliver a good serve. She does. Another break point to face. She needs another first serve. She misses it. She forced this one. And oh, that's a big miss. Oh my God. Because the ball was really slow inside the court. Sabalenka stepped in, and I mean, the pressure is here. You don't need to go full and close to the net on this one. Take more margin. Play it with more spin. You don't need to hit that fast because every time you take the ball early and you move Rybakina, you're winning all the points. It's also an emotional forehand. I mean, there is so much margin for improvement for those two players. I understand about the emotion. So when the emotion is too dangerous for you, just stick to the discipline. Discipline, game plan, and I execute. It's crazy that she's down a break in the third. First of all, because she was 3-love up, but also because Rybakina is not playing great today because the first serve percentage is really low. Oh, we have apparently an incredible statistic coming up. My team is so excited. They said they've never seen a statistic like that. Again, are we going to have some first serves or no? If not, I think it's going to be another break in that third set. 82% of points won on the first serve for Rybakina in that third set. Both players are very aggressive in the game. Okay, so this is the statistic. All about serve and return. Even Opelka has longer on average. 38 points were 0-4 shots. Only 3 that went 5-8 shots and only 1 over 9. That's crazy. Just to tell you how good they are in the first shots and how in trouble they are when the rallies get longer. Only 1 over 9, that's crazy. And we're in the third set. 30-15, second serve, let's see. And boom, down the line. Oh, it's out. It's just out, but this is the nerves because this one she really masters well. I know exactly what Sabalenka is saying to her team, that the other one close her eyes and hits winners, not knowing what she's doing. It's classic. Rybakina went for a bigger target on the serve, but this was too big of a target. That was literally on the forehand of Sabalenka, who could return in, and boom, good serve in, and missed return from Sabalenka, down 5-3 now in the third. Ooh la la, ooh la la, a lot of stress. But the coach of Rybakina shows also, a lot of energy, good energy, but you can feel his stress also. I hope it doesn't pass. I hope for her it doesn't pass her stress to her. No first serve. I can tell you that Sabalenka is in danger on that game. That's not a good return. Boom, no chance. And it's also what I don't understand. You're 5-3 up in the third. You know that if you play central and conservative, you're going to lose the point. Why don't you take risks? You put even more pressure on your opponent that might also make mistakes. And at the end of the day, it's better to go for your shot and miss than play central and lose the points. Good second, easy. Because she opens the court on the first shot, and then the court is open completely. It's easy. You put the other one on the run, and you know when the other one's on the run, she's going to lose the point. Sorry, but I prefer to see that Rybakina going for the winner on the second serve than her playing central with no intention. In 2023, just for information, Rybakina was 4-2 up in the third when she lost 6-4. This time she's at 5-3. Soon it's going to be 5-4. 40-15. 2 more opportunities for Sabalenka to come back to 4-5 in the third. 5-4. Rybakina is going to be under crazy stress now because she's serving for a Grand Slam title. She's not dominating. And when she's more conservative because she's a bit tight, she loses the point. She knows she will have to go for shots. She'll need first serves. As she knows, and she's tight, she's probably not going to have many. On second serve, she's under huge stress because Sabalenka has been doing very well at attacking her second serves in the second and the third set. Let's see what kind of Rybakina we have, because if we have the offensive Rybakina, she might close this one. If not, oh, that first serve was way out. Second serve, down the line, no, cross, down the line, no, cross, down the line, no, cross, and miss. No, she needs to change direction. There is no other way if she wants to win that game and the Grand Slam title. Honestly, she doesn't deserve it. It's 5-4 in the third. No first serve, down the line, winner. Great job, that's amazing. She did what she had to do, and plus she did it well. 15-all. The level of stress is really high for both players. One serving for the set, one trying to survive. First serve, but not a good zone. Cross, make her move. Yes, perfect. Yeah, that's good stuff. When she does what she has to do, she wins the point. That's deserved. 30-15. That point is so far the most important because it can give her too much points. Still no serve. You can see that the toss went way too far in front. When she served with a bit of angle on the backhand of Sabalenka on second serve, it's penalty kick. When she served body, backhand was way better. She prevented Sabalenka from hitting 0 first serve. I mean, only 1, but not a good one. I think that Rybakina needs 1 if she wants to win her service game and the match. And here we go. Serve winner. And now it's a championship point. Yeah, first thing affected is the toss because you're shaking a little bit, so it hurts your hand. She's 1 first serve away from a Grand Slam title. Just hit the first serve and you get it. Here we go. Game, set, and match. Rybakina 6-4 in the third. Very tough for Sabalenka. Another match that she probably feels she should have won, as she did feel that way in Roland Garros, as she did feel that way last year at the Australian Open in the final. Is it true? Well, a little bit. When you 3-love up in the third, and when you have the keys, because both of the players had the keys, if they would just stick to the game plan, they did and did not, and did and did not, and that's what happened. Well, it's nice to see them, the players, sharing that moment with their team. My opinion on Alcaraz requesting a physio. Look at my Instagram. I did a post on it this morning. Well, I understand that Zverev was affected and could be pissed at the fact that Alcaraz was receiving treatment, but all the players get treatment for cramps, all of them. Was it right to be pissed because he had a medical timeout? I don't think so, because that's the decision of the physio. And again, that's what you do when someone has cramps. So this is normal. This is usual. I mean, if he wouldn't receive it, Alcaraz, that wouldn't be unusual and not normal, because that would be a different way to treat Alcaraz. The narrative that it's always Alcaraz and Sinner who are advantaged. Yeah, I don't think it's right. And to hear him say they slowed the surface to advantage Sinner and Alcaraz, this is too much. So no, I don't buy in this one. They have at some point one advantage, probably, but to say that they're always advantaged, and in this case, no. This was completely a normal treatment. But you can listen to the whole thing that I did on Instagram. I mean, that's just my opinion, but I've seen a few matches in my life at this level and coached a few at that level, and I can tell you, all the players receive treatment when they get cramps. What is true is that the rule is if you ask for treatment and it's not in between at a changeover, you can't have treatment for cramps before the changeover. Otherwise, you agree to lose the game, which is what actually Alcaraz did at Roland Garros when he cramped against Sinner. He said, okay, fine, but I want treatment now. Then yes. When he asked for treatment, it was at the pause, so there was no problem there. That's my opinion. And that's going to be a great men's final, guys. It's amazing to think that Novak will play for his 25th Grand Slam. And I think yesterday he showed again that why he is who he is. Because I think that game-wise and physically-wise, Sinner is superior to the Novak of today, which is physically not as good as before. As he's not as good as before, he's not able to play the same level. But I think his tennis is the exact same. It's just physical. But still, he's a guy who can find solutions to win, and if you look at all the pressure points throughout the match, he's been so much more efficient than Sinner in that match. I want to share with you also a few statistics that I've seen. All the matches that went over 4 hours, that Sinner played over 4 hours, he lost all 9. There is a 3 hours 50 barrier apparently, and now coming to Alcaraz. Matches over 3 hours and 50 minutes, he won 15 out of 16. That's unbelievable. Thank you, by the way, for all your comments, guys. And Zverev against top 5 in Grand Slams, he lost 14 times out of 15. And we have also a statistic. It's all from Je, Set, and Emat, which is an amazing, actually, account on social media, but it's in French. The players who qualified for the most number of semifinals of a Grand Slam, but never won one. We have the list and the number. It's interesting. The number one by far is Zverev. Qualified for 10 Grand Slam semis, but never won one. Second is Tomas Berdych, 7 times, but never won one. Third is Todd Martin. I don't know if you remember that guy. He was an amazing player. 6, never won one. Tim Henman, 6, never won one. Ferrer, 6. Tsonga, 6. Tsitsipas, 6. That's all very interesting stats. The last one, which is the best win-loss record after 100 major matches. The number one is Carlos Alcaraz. 87 wins, only 13 losses, same as Bjorn Borg, and better than McEnroe, Nadal, Connors, and Sinner, Federer, and Djokovic are far away. Just to say how impressive this guy is at 22 years old and 272 days. He's the youngest player of the Open era who qualified in the final of all Grand Slam tournaments. And that says a lot about him and his future. Guys, it was a pleasure. It was a real pleasure. I wish you a great day. I hope you enjoyed the final. Sorry for the Sabalenka fans. She will mean many others. And I see you tomorrow for the men's final. I won't be there at the start, but I'll take over a bit later. Have a great day.